Welcome to the 2013 Ferro State University Football Preview. I'm Rob Bentley and joined by the second-year head coach of the Ferro State Bulldogs, Tony Annese. Coach, first of all, welcome. As you get ready for fall camp, how excited are you for another season of Bulldog football?
You know, actually, I'm always miserable when it's this time of year, but it begins kind of a time where the weather changes, and when it ends, it's snowy and nasty. But I'm excited for the season in regards to the opportunities for us to kind of prove that we've made a lot of progress over the course of the last 2 years.
Talk about that progress, where you're at here in year two, as maybe compared to where you were a year ago at this time.
Well, you know, I think that we've stabilized some things. You know, we had a couple small classes when we took this position, and so I know that we have 7 guys that were here a couple years ago. Our class of seniors would be 7 if we didn't bolster that. So we were pleased. I think we've got 20 there now, 20 seniors, and so we added quite a good group of kids to that class and also the class behind it. So I think total we would have had 20 juniors or seniors if we didn't do some things to try to bolster and kind of transform our roster. So we're pleased by that.
A challenging schedule this year, of course. The GLIAC North, very challenging last season. You have a great opportunity here to start the year. 2-time defending FCS champion, North Dakota State. Just talk about that game and how you hope that prepares you for the season.
Well, you know, first off, the GLIAC, last year we were rolling in the GLIAC, and you know, we looked at the Massey ratings, and we had the #1 strength of schedule in the nation, and so I don't think there's any doubt who's got the #1 strength of schedule in the nation this year when you add a non-conference game with North Dakota State. So it's going to be a huge challenge, and we're excited about it. You know, they play Kansas State in week 1 and then Ferris State in week 2, and our kids get an opportunity to be in a venue that evidently is one of the most amazing venues in all of college football. So that's a cool thing. We get to get in an airplane together. A lot of our kids haven't even really flown in an airplane, so that's a cool thing. So all in all, I think it's a win-win for us. Obviously, the challenge of playing a program of that stature is quite daunting, but you know, we're going to go there, we're going to show up, we're going to fight, and we'll see what happens. In regards to the GLIAC competition, you know, it's always unbelievable. You know, our season GLIAC action is going to start out with a bang, you know, and we're going to have some real significant games early, and we've got some great home games this year with an opportunity to play, you know, what everyone characterizes our rival Grand Valley State here in Saginaw Valley the week before for homecoming. So not to leave anyone off, but it's going to be very exciting.
Offensively, last year you ranked among the top 10 teams in the country, both in total offense, scoring offense, rushing. Talk about the offense, the number of skill guys you have coming back, led by the GLIAC Freshman of the Year, Jason Vanderlyn.
Yeah, Jason had a great year last year, and you know, Taylor Masowitz is also a kid that will be in the hunt there, and Trevor Birmingham made a lot of progress. So we're keeping that battle open. We're not going to name starters right away and let the kids fight it out a little bit to see who's going to be the guy. But we're excited about the capabilities of all those kids, and obviously Jason's got the capacity to do some things that not a lot of kids can do in college football. I mean, he rushed in certain games, you know, 42 times, and just a big, durable kid who, you know, gives us a lot of strength in regards to that position. You know, I would say that the power or the place where we return most starters is at the offensive line, so that's a huge factor. 8 of our top 9 guys are back, and so we lost Smolinski, but we've got a lot of guys. We had some injuries there, and we've got a lot of guys that are very capable of playing there, and so that's huge. And then Jake Lampman was our leading receiver. We're trying to move him inside. We'll see what happens. Corey Ringer, Jamal Jackson ran the ball a lot. So Trico Searcy was one of our slots. We got Antonio Agers who can play in that position. So all in all, we feel really good about our offensive skill and our guys up front.
As you move to the defensive side of the ball, you lost some guys, but a lot of returning talent in terms of some younger players and some impact players coming into the program.
Yeah, we obviously had a lot of seniors there, and our GLIAC accolades were on the defensive side of the ball, and so Jordan Morgan and Brad Iskow were two solid DNs, and Tyle Moss, and Michael Ias, Brady Shack, those guys were all starting guys at linebacker. So there's a lot to replace there. We have, we think, brought some guys in that can do a pretty good job, but we'll see what the young guys do as well. We're going to have to compete on that side of the ball, and we got to be better, and we got to, ultimately, Coach Esposito, our new defense coordinator, is really trying to put an impact on, creating opportunities and turnovers and things like that to help us be a more productive defense.
Talk about your coaching staff. You mentioned Coach Esposito came on in the spring as the new defensive coordinator. How's he meshed with the staff? And talk about some of your other guys coming back and how you've worked together.
I think it's solid. It's always a strange dynamic. People criticize a lot, young men and playing on a team and having the kind of camaraderie that you want to have a solid team, and people have no idea how hard that is, even with a group of adult men who are, coaches. So I think we've done a good job of meshing our staff. I think people will find that our staff is close. We care about each other on and off the field. We're competitors, but ultimately I think it's important for us to be very connected, and we are. And so I feel good about some of the experiences our guys have had together, and some have been with me a long time, others haven't. But ultimately, I think we're a group of guys that really really feel like there's a family amongst our coaching staff.
As you get ready to start fall camp, what's kind of the focus in terms of preparation and getting ready for the season opener?
Well, obviously focus on some of the things we got to do a better job at. So from an offensive standpoint, it's just making sure we manage handling the ball a little bit more effectively, not making a big mistake, which we made way too many big mistakes last year. On defense, it's creating opportunities for a short field with our offense and all of those things. So creating turnovers and making big hits and those kind of things. And then special teams wise, we got Austin Cantola back, who we really like as our kicker, and so we just need to be a little bit more efficient in regards to doing the things you need to do to be effective on special teams, and not just so much about schemes, but just executing simple fundamentals and doing things the right way on that side. So all three of those areas, I think we have the ability to be good, but we'll see. And then hopefully, part of the deal with getting North Dakota State is when we roll into camp, if we aren't focused from day one in camp, shame on us. Shame on us as coaches, shame on us as players. And so that's a big reason why we couldn't get an opponent. I didn't want to go into the Lake Erie game on September 14th without playing the September 7th game. And hopefully our sense of urgency is pretty great, throughout camp. So we're excited to get it going.
You mentioned the home opener September 14th against Lake Erie. Kind of leads into the next question, our final question here. Talk about the progress you've made in terms of building community support, alumni support, and of course, energizing the fans about Bulldog football.
Yeah, I hope we're all energized. It takes a commitment from people. Just from an alumni standpoint, if you look at former players, how badly do they want to come back? Well, I know how that is. I was a former player somewhere once. So you've got, boy, I'd love to go see them play, but I've got family, I got this commitment, I got that commitment. So we're hoping that they kind of look in and say, hey, Ferris State was a very important part of my life, and I know I've got a lot of things to do this weekend, but let's go watch Ferris play. I hope we're building that kind of, sentiment amongst our alumni base, the community as well. We want to be an entertaining, exciting proposition for people to come and get their money's worth when they come watch us play. And so I think it's growing. I hope it continues to grow, but I'm anticipating that we have a packed house on a lot of our games, or an overflowing crowd, new scoreboard. They're working to make some of the things in the stadium look a little bit better. Last year we had new uniforms and all the things that we've done and the athletic department's done to try to promote us and you guys, and so we're out there in social media, and you can learn a lot about us just hitting us up on our website, and so I hope that everyone feels like they're part of us. That Ferris State is a big family. If you played here, you're part of that family. We want you back.
Coach, best of luck. Looking forward to the season opener September 7th as the Bulldogs kick off the 2013 season.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
This has been the 2013 Ferris State Football Preview. Reminder, you can follow all the action online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com.